This Sidney Breakfast Club series of speakers over the first 3, 4 months have been very robust. We've learned so much. And Jan Buermans, who I have this morning, CEO of ASL Environmental Sciences, was part of a panel that was speaking last month. And man, I can't tell you how many folks came up to me and said how informative your information was. People are not aware of the advanced marine technology companies that are on the peninsula. They are not aware of where you sell, how big you are, and they're not aware of how you guys work together. Good morning. Thank you for coming back to Sidney Breakfast Club. After hours, I call it.
Good morning, John. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Oh, thank you very much. Tell us about what ASL Environmental Sciences does and their impact on the local economy and the national and global economy.
All right, well, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to tell you more about this. So, Kafka was telling us about the reason why we enjoy being in this community, and there is so much support, whether that's from local government, like Institute of Ocean Sciences, or Ocean Networks Canada, UVic. They're involved in the oceanographic field. That's where we operate. And so consequently, there's lots of people involved in oceanography. AML and AXYS are complementary to us. We don't really compete. We do work for AXYS on occasion. Occasionally, we borrow their stuff. They borrow our stuff. AML, we have some of their equipment in our lease pool, and they attract lots of talent. So that increases the talent pool here in Victoria, and that makes it really good for us. So ASL, we essentially have 4 areas that we're active in. So we started building our own instruments, and we licensed it from Institute of Ocean Sciences through some official program, probably 30 years ago. And
Yep.
so this was an instrument for measuring ice draft or ice thickness, if you like.
hmm I'm going to interrupt this wonderful flow. You were one of the instrumental founders for the Sidney Breakfast Club back then. Thank you very much.
Well, ASL was David Fissel from our company, who was one of our founders from back in 1977. He decided that we needed to have well, part of the people that decided to have this Sidney Breakfast Club. So Dave Fissel is the one who was instrumental in founding it. So, and he was the one who negotiated this deal that at iOS, where we licensed this upward-looking sonar, and it was low power, and it could be deployed in the Arctic for a whole ice season from well, the entire summer as well. So it could be deployed one summer and then recovered another summer. And so when you were hearing about all the reduction of ice in the Arctic, they were using our numbers from a number of instruments deployed throughout the Arctic. And when they were thinking about doing some oil exploration in the Arctic, they were using our instruments to understand what ice regime was like. And since then, that instrument's evolved into a biological oceanography, meaning we use it to look at fish, to look at zooplankton and things that are in the water column that people care about. We continue to consume fish, and things are changing in the ocean, and so
Yeah.
yes, things are changing. So that's our own instruments, and we market them to China, Japan, Europe, Norway, many places around the world, and the US until recently. There are many US universities that use our instruments, and of course, Department of Fisheries and Oceans here in Canada. So we also have other people's gear, such as AML's gear, other people's instruments that we make available. So if somebody wants to measure currents or waves somewhere around the world, whether it's here in Victoria or whether it's somewhere off the coast of Africa or in the Mediterranean or off the coast of Greenland, many places, if people need equipment, oceanographic underwater equipment, we have a lease pool here available. and we ship stuff all over the place for temporary projects. We have good customers in South Africa, in Australia, um, so many places around the world. Now, we're oceanographers, so we go out and deploy equipment for customers. So this big lease pool of equipment we've got, we will go and deploy it for users as well.
Wow.
So that means that if somebody's interested in listening to a pipeline in the Mediterranean, we'll send a crew out there and deploy this equipment and then go back X months and recover it and analyze this acoustic data from a hydrophone. Or if somebody's interested in understanding what currents are like around one of their fish farms, we'll go out and measure. And so we do a lot of work in Newfoundland. So we have crews that go to Newfoundland pretty regularly.
All from old little Victoria.
That's right.
I can't believe it.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Of course, we do work with aquaculture here on the island and as well further north. Um, the ports and harbors that are discussions that are happening up north off the coast, we're very much involved in those. And further in the Arctic, there's lots of discussions around ports in the Arctic, and that we're involved. So our own instruments, other people's instruments, services that we go out and deploy this equipment. Fourth is we have a group of scientists here that understand satellite imagery. And so we go out and analyze change from satellite imagery, whether that's for a government application or whether that's for a municipal application. If people are interested in understanding how things have changed over the years, there's a ton of information available on a ton of pictures available, and understanding change and having some AI techniques applied to these pictures is what our people specialize in. So yes, we have a number of people that have doctorates in machine learning and data analysis that apply there. So essentially, those four areas that we're operating in, and most of our customers are not in Victoria. They are probably in other parts of Canada or in
The
the
world.
US
Or the world.
or the world,
Yes.
Yes. Our Chinese market for instruments has been growing, which is kind of
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to see. And unfortunately, in the US, science budgets have become more uncertain, so it makes it more
Yes.
difficult for us to sell there. But,
Yes.
we'll have to find a way around that, and focus on more of the European markets.
And
So,
hopefully more of the Canadian government marketplace as it relates to some of this defense tsunami that they've told us is coming our way. We want to be ready. I think what really fascinated so many folks at the last meeting was just the size and breadth and sophistication of the advanced marine technology industry on the peninsula. There's yourselves, there's AXYS, there's AML, as you've indicated. Um, this is really remarkable. Are there some other companies that you might be able to list off the
sure.
top of your head?
Of the
Maybe not.
there's a very interesting company called Open Ocean Robotics with Julie Angus. Maybe you know
Yes, of
her.
course.
And we
Yes.
have a collaboration project with her through the Ocean Supercluster based in Newfoundland. And we're and together with Rockland Scientific, who are here in town as well. So
Yes, yes.
the three of us are located here. Open Ocean Robotics has that beautiful uncrewed surface vessel. Rockland has some fancy turbulence measurement device, and we have some sonar, calibrated sonar, and together we're hoping to attract military attention for this kind of uncrewed surface vessel to explore objects in the Arctic. So we're pursuing that, and let's see what happens. So
Yeah.
Victoria is a really attractive place for oceanographers, and so whether that's scientists, and we have a lot of them in our company. We must have 8 people with PhDs as
Hmm.
part of the group of 30.
Wow.
And lots of people with masters and a few engineers like myself that cause trouble from time to time and such. So it's really a pleasure to be here with a multitude of companies that we can collaborate with, and we don't much compete with, which is great.
Yeah. We certainly, collectively, as a community, as a business community, want to increase the profile of amazing companies like yours, so that they not only increase revenue globally, but are more aware to the local marketplace of what you guys do, because it's just world class, world class.
Oh,
And we want to be in a position that when Ottawa says we need to spend a ton of money on defense procurement, that involves this industry, the marine industry. And we want them to knock on our door and say, how can you help us? So thank you very much for helping us promote and brand the industry across the world. So much appreciated.
it's a pleasure, John. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Till the next time. Take care.
Alrighty. Ciao, ciao.